Very good morning to all the delegates. I request everyone to kindly settle down and people outside to kindly join in as we proceed with the inaugural session of this GCC Summit, the 7th GCC Summit of ICI, which is happening at Kolkata, from ledgers to global leadership, chartered accountants shaping global capability centers. Friends, these days GCC are being talked throughout the country and throughout the world. If we talk about data, more than 1700 GCCs are now in India, which comprises of more than 50% of the world global capability centers. The cost centers are now converting into value centers. Back office of the world, which we were being called, are now being called as the brain office of the world. And this is all around GCC. So we can see the response we have got, and in all the other summits, the response were huge. So the thought is to learn around GCC, to know what it is, and to implement it, and be part of this bullet train of GCC, which is running and running at a very, very rapid speed. On that context, I would like to invite on the dais CA Hari Ram Agarwal and CA Biswaranjan Sutar, our council colleague, followed by CA Vishnu Kumar Tulsian, Chairman East India Regional Council. I'd request CA Sanjeev Sanghi, Central Council member and convener of the GCC group, to kindly escort our chief guest, Mr. Devasis Sen, former IAS officer, former Additional Chief Secretary, Government of West Bengal. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause. I request Hariram Ji and Vishwaranjan Sutarji to also kindly join. We also have CA Ravi Patwa, Central Council member and Program Director among us. We'll welcome you, Ravi sir. I request all the dignitaries to kindly join for the lighting of lamp.
या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना.
Thank you, everyone. I request all the delegates to kindly rise for the ICI motto song.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तदेव शुक्रब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Friends, it's time we welcome and felicitate our chief guest of today's program, Mr. Devasis Sen. I request both the Central Council member, CA Sanjeev Sanghe and CA Ravi Patwa, to kindly welcome him and felicitate on behalf of ICI. Thank you. I request Secretary East India Regional Council CA Hariram Agarwal ji to kindly welcome and felicitate the convener of the GCC group of ICI and Central Council member CA Sanjeev Sanghe. Thank you, Hariram ji. I request Regional Council member CA Vishwaranjan Sutar to kindly welcome CA Ravi Patwa, Central Council member and Program Director for GCC Kolkata Summit. Thank you. It's time I request Chairman East India Regional Council CA Vishnu Kumar Tulsian for his welcome address.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning. Yes. This is the energy what I want to feel before all of you. Sit on the dais, Devasis sir, the former ICE officer, Central Council member and Program Director C. Sanjeev Sanghi sir, Central Council member Ravi Patwa sir, my council colleagues C. Mayur Agarwal, the Vice Chairman, the Secretary Hariramji Agarwal and the Council member Vishwaranjan Sudhar from Odisha. Friends, the GCC, this is not an outsourcing work. I think this is the work which can be generated in-house to help the parent company, and we can develop a lot of in-house capability to save the cost, to save the to create the innovations and many things. I welcome you all to this session, which is very useful, very thought-provoking, and which is shaping the path to the new opportunity. As a chairman, I think that Eastern India is having a lot of capability in the form of talent pool, and we can become the accountant hub of the entire India. So this opportunity lying here, and with these types of initiatives of GCC and other opportunity which is lying before us, and ICI is doing well for this, creating this opportunity. If we study the history of 25 to 30 years of the India, of the eastern part of the India, we find that there has been a lot of brain drain from this area. Because of our talents couldn't be consumed, couldn't be got the proper opportunity. But by these types of opportunity which is lying before us, this Calcutta, this eastern part of India can be one of the biggest talent pool which can bring a lot of opportunity for all of us. I feel GCC is for the purpose of strategic operations, it is for the direct control, it is for talent and cost efficiency, this is for innovation hubs. And through this we can access the global talent also. So for the purpose of cost optimizations, of course this is very important, and hence we welcome all of you to this program, and we wish to take all types of experiences from our leaders on the dais and have a conversation to them so that a new area can be opened up and we can fix ourselves that we are not only leisure booking keepers but also we are the capacity setter. With this opportunity, thanks a lot for coming me here. Thanks a lot. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Now I request Program Director CA Ravi Patwa for his address.
Seated on the dais, the chief guest for the inaugural function, Mr. Devashish Sen. Thank you so much for coming here, sir. The convener of Group on Global Capability Centers of ICAI, CA Sanjeev Sanghi, my council colleague. who's doing a fantabulous job so far as this group is concerned. Chairman of EIRC, CA Vishnu Tulsian, Vice Chairman CA Mayur Agarwal, Secretary CA Hariram Agarwal, and members CA Vishwaranjan Sutar. My dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you to this 7th GCC Summit, which is being held in Calcutta. Already 6 GCC Summits have been held all over the country. I will just like to tell you this much, that 12 months back, most of the chartered accountants did not know much about GCCs. But when President Sir asked each of us council members on one particular item which he would like to do in this 1 year, a unique project, I picked up internal audit standards because they were outdated and we needed to revamp them. And Sanjeev Sanghi picked up GCC. And today, the word GCC is popular among the whole fraternity of chartered accountants. So big hands to Sanjeev Sanghi for whatever he has done with GCCs. Friends, in the presence of somebody like Sanjeev Sanghi and Mr. Devashish Sen, it would be unwise on my part to dive deep into the topic of the conference here, the main item that is GCC, because I am not an expert in it. And Sanjeev has been doing GCC for 2.5 decades now. So let them take care of that. I will just touch upon a couple of other things, some important things which have happened in the council and which all of you need to know. Friends, day before yesterday, we have adopted the new internal audit standards. We are going to have 2 quality standards among the total of 19 standards. And let me not, give the details because this is not the right fora for it. But I would request you, and these standards are going to be applicable immediately. We are also trying, the MC has also given us indications they would like to make these standards mandatory in the times to come for all professionals. We wanted to make these standards mandatory for chartered accountants, but I myself, when the argument came up in the council, spoke against it because I felt that if we make these standards mandatory for chartered accountants only, then our brothers will be unnecessarily facing more difficulties, whereas people who are not subject to this would be doing internal audits at their own sweet will. So until and unless the industry adopts it or the government adopts it, perhaps these standards should not be made mandatory for chartered accountants only. They should be made mandatory for all internal audits. Considering that, we have kept them as recommendatory for the time being, but the council has decided that after 6 months, they will go back and think on whether they should be made mandatory for chartered accountants. So this is the background. So I'll urge upon all of you, whosoever is there in the internal audit profession, to start following these standards immediately. A lot of changes have taken place in the code of ethics. Again, the changes are not to be discussed over here. This is an inaugural session of GCC. But I'll request all of you to go through the changes in the code of ethics. The commentaries have changed in many places, and follow the code of ethics in toto. Friends, since all of you are eagerly waiting to hear about GCC, I will bid adieu for the time being. I once again welcome you all to the conference. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Ravi sir, for appraising around the recent changes which the council has approved. Friends, it's time we listen from the convener of the GCC group. As already mentioned by Ravi sir, that GCC word now is in the mouth of all the chartered accountant across the country, and one reason behind this, that is CA Sanjeev Sanghi. Request sir for your address, please.
Good morning, everyone. On the dais, we have a very respected Debashish Sen sir, the former IAS officer who has brought a lot of innovation in Bengal. And when you listen to him, you will see a lot of skills and leadership qualities which he had, always looking towards the future. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. My council colleague Ravi Patwa, who had given a very gist of all what has happened in ICAI, and again, due to the limited time, he has much more to say, but he is a person who is working very well on the internal audit standard and many other things which he has been assigned to. The chairman of EIRC, Vishnu Tulsian, just completed his largest conference in Eastern India with the record attendance and record sponsorship. Mayur Agarwal got the first prize in ICASA, hosting this ICASA, and got national first for the Student National Conference. Sutar and Hariramji all doing a beautiful job. Let me get back to this topic of GCC. First of all, I want to thank all of you for attending in such large numbers, and I want to apologize to all of you to say why this was taken up at the end. When we started this GCC, I went back to the, rightly said by Ravi Bhaiya, I went back to the president and said, I want GCC as an initiative to be taken across the country. And there was a story behind it. And this is very important for you to listen to this, and that's why we have brought this summit together. I was in Hyderabad in one of the programs, Debashish sir, organized by another organization which was not an Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And there were approximately 400 to 500 delegates sitting over there, and I registered myself as a delegate over there. And that was happening in Hyderabad. And that was GCC summit over there. At the end of the day, me with one of my council colleagues went up towards where there was networking going on, and we were on chat with the president of that organization. I don't want to name that. And we exchanged card. Looking into that card, visiting card, when I offered my visiting card, he said to me, chartered accountant with a question mark. Which means, what is chartered accountant doing in this GCC? And that raised a very, very important question. And I told him, sir, I was here for the entire day. I've not seen anything on transfer pricing, not on ESG, not on mergers and acquisition, not on valuation, not on funding, not on taxation. All you are talking about is talent. With all due respect to the IT companies across the world, it will be taken up by AI. But we have that knowledge. We have that skills. We are that strategist. And we are people who are going to be the brain office of the world. We are going to be relevant, and we have more than 100,000 chartered accountants already working in GCC. He said, wow. The question comes, what is GCC all about? Why is this such a buzz? And what is that we are going to get out of it? Well, if India is going to be the largest economy of the world, the contribution of GCC will be the most. 1800 plus GCC. Calcutta just witnessed a GCC couple of days back, sent by Vivek Agarwal, and many more. Bangalore is hosting more than 600 plus GCC. Hyderabad, Pune. And all the key players working over there are chartered accountants. When I was in, this is my 7th summit in just 7 to 8 months. We started with Delhi to Ahmedabad to Pune to Hyderabad to Bangalore, Jaipur, finally to Calcutta. And there was one single objective. And this theme which you see over here, from ledgers to global leadership, the theme was repeated in all the 7 summits. We got 15 ecosystem partners. Ministry of Information Technology, Ministry of External Affairs, IFCA, SCPC, all the organization joined hands with us to say you are the best. Chartered accountants today are going to play an important and the most important role in this. And let me tell you how and why. What used to be an outsourcing services, like I started my outsourcing services 2.5 decades back, rightly said by Ravi Bhai. It was more towards back office, which means जो जूते की दुकान होती है ना, I don't know how many of you have gone, but एक छोटी सी जूते की दुकान होती है जिसमें एक छोटा सा सीलिंग के ऊपर छेद होता है और वहां पर एक छोटू होता है. And when we go and we want to buy a shoe and जब वो 9 नंबर की जगह 10 नंबर जूते चाहिए होते हैं तो आवाज जाती है छोटू 10 नंबर वाला भेज. तो ऊपर से एक बक्सा गिरता है. We are not able to see that छोटू over there. Somehow, some way in outsourcing, we were that chotu. I'm calling myself for 2.5 decades because we are not able to meet the clients. We are not able to strategize things. We were the back office. Back office means you are not coming in the front. And now the focus has changed. We are strategic thinkers. We are transformation evangelists. We are taking decisions. We are doing forecasting, as already said in the earlier sessions. We are working on insights. We are working on foresights. What is there for you sitting over here? How many of you have gone to Gift City, Ahmedabad? Can I see a raise of hand? Okay. How many of you have actually seen a running GCC going in this country? Can I see a raise of hand? 2, 3. All of them have started with 2 or 3 people. There's a session on domestic and global network guidelines today. And there was a question, why this is so important? How this journey is going to get started? We need to get specialized, that is for sure. Gone are days where we have to shift from these ledgers, so-called ledgers. And what are we doing in these ledgers? All we are doing is summarizing, analyzing, and submitting information, which can be done by machines. What we have to step into is insights, analyzing this data and trying to get meaningful information from it. Learn to connect multiple systems and create a live real-time dashboard and get into that foresight. And for that, we need a lot of adaptability to change ourselves from what we are doing today to what we are going to do tomorrow. We have to talk about how we can learn, unlearn, and relearn new things. And that is where these 2 or 3 people start creating this network of members and chartered accountants and professionals and lawyers and other data scientists and cybersecurity experts and RPA experts and data scientists and AI experts and working as a team. One-stop solution where you have offices across the country, in fact across the world also. And then position yourself to these entire worldwide organization to say, we are your GCC. Because these organizations are looking to set up their GCC center in India. And the projection says that approximately 2,500 to 3,000 GCC will be coming up in next 4 years. Each with a capacity of average 2,000 people to 20,000 or maybe 50,000 people working over that. How can we get started into it? Take a step back. Start traveling, start meeting people, start attending different conferences, events. There's a big AI Impact Summit coming up for 3 days in Delhi, organized by Government of India, MITI. Do attend these kind of programs. Try to network with people around. Learn what is going on across the world and how things had been changing so fast and so rapidly. We created this noise together. The government had acknowledged our efforts. And let me tell you, if you go into GCC ICAI, GCC was always a product of IT companies. Today, if you type in Google GCC, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India will come at the first page. That is the contribution we as chartered accountant has to do towards building our nation, to be a true leader and partnering in global building. And what a budget this time it was. This budget was all about GCC, other than taxation and other subjects. I don't know how many of you have learned and heard about safe harbor rules. We are going to discuss in length on that. How many of you have heard about foreign company coming to India? We'll get tax holidays and many more. What is the objective behind it? To retain the talent which is going across from India to the entire world. In fact, now these foreign firms can open their company in India. We all will be having opportunities. The question which is important and relevant today, and that is what you're going to learn in today's session, is are we ready? Are we digitally ready? Are we able to manage our work anytime from anywhere? Are we really paperless? Can we specialize into 10 different things? Have we grown ourselves from a 5-partner firm to 100-partner firm? Have we started building our offices where you can scale? So there are 2 important messages and words which I wanted to share with all of you, which is required if you really have a vision to be one of the GCC in Calcutta. Because Calcutta is going to be the best spot for the entire country. Like what I always say to the people is, what India is to the world, Calcutta is for India. So this is a journey which we all wanted to go forward to. I'm very happy that I've got the tremendous support from across the country to say, when people who are working in GCC, chartered accountants, they came back to me and said, we never thought that Institute of Chartered Accountants of India will finally understand and will acknowledge our efforts and contribution. If you see this room over here, this is a center of excellence. How many of you have came for the first time over here? Can I see the raise of hand? This is such a beautiful building, which has again been done by Institute of Chartered Accountants, a setup which nobody has thought that institute will have such a beautiful setup. The journey of networking, which Ravi Bhai has just touched upon, the journey of how we can fly, transform, and actually bring the best out of us. Capabilities is the key. And let me share with you, when we talk to the government, when we talk to people like Sanjeev Sanyal and many other people, last year, let me give you the number, when I was calling him as one of the chief guests in Delhi GCC. He's an economic advisor coming from Bengal. And we had a good debate, a hot debate, let me tell you. And I asked him a question, sir, you talk about Big 7. You talk about how India can be Big 7, how we chartered accountants can become a 100, 200 partners firm. How many of us are sitting in a top line of 100 to 500 crores? please answer few questions which I have. And I have a very strong, hot debate with him. You paid 34,000 crores to Big Fours last year. Out of that, please tell me if even 34 crores has gone to any Indian firms. He said no. You form a committee for Big Seven, wherein you are discussing policies, you are talking to MCA and how we can work together, aggregation and all of that. Please tell me, is there a single chartered accountant who is a part of that committee? Said no. Then he asked few questions which I was not able to answer. How many of your chartered accountants have 100 plus partners? How many of your chartered accountants have 20 offices or maybe having a top line of more than 200 crores? How many of partners or your firms are meeting all these ISO guidelines, security standards, which the world is looking for? The question comes, well, you give me work, I'll do it. Or I'll get myself ready to do that work. What comes first is what we need to discuss internally within ourselves and take our thought process forward, that what we want to do in next 5 years, because India is now in the best spot. And we all are going to play a very, very tremendous role in it, whether we want to work for government, whether we want to work for stakeholders, for the entire world. Everyone is looking for us. We have no other choice but to get ourselves ready for this transformative movement which we have. I just wanted to share few pages. If you can see, can I see the screen? Can I see the screen over there? This is the website of GCC, which covers all the things which has been done in the past. I want you to go through each and every where you can see all the speakers, the program structures, the glimpses, insights, and the report. All the videos has been uploaded over here. If you go to Hyderabad, you can see all the videos, Pune, and I want you to see, if you go into these insights, you can see all the important articles which has been covered on these by the best of the best people across the country. So if you go through this website, GCC ICI, and if you go through this ecosystem, this is what has happened in last. I'll just show you the ecosystem partners which we have. We have got wonderful tractions across, and we wanted to take it forward because next year, this year was focused on creating that voice of chartered accountants amongst all the important ministries of this country. Next year, let me tell you, starting now, next year, we all are going to physically go to each and every GCC. The conference will not be happening in these places. The conferences, the roundtable discussions, and the entire thought process will be happening inside a GCC. In these 1800 GCC, where one of our chartered accountant is sitting over there as a CFO, as a CEO, or as a senior person, and we are going to go over there. We are going to practically see what they are doing and how they are doing. This is the journey which we want to do it together, and we look forward for more support from all of you together. Thank you once again for joining with us, and I'll be very happy to answer any questions which comes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev sir, to share all your experience with all the 6 GCCs which you have conducted throughout the countries and taking the delegate through the entire gamut of what is happening in and around GCC at ICI and in the country. Friends, it's time we welcome our chief guest for his address, Mr. Devasish Sen, former IAS and ex-additional Chief Secretary. Sir, over to you for your address.
Good morning, everybody. It was indeed a pleasure listening to Mr. Sanghvi. I had two primary reasons for coming here today. A, to listen to what he had to say, which I have sat through with great interest, and also see this new center of excellence. When I was in charge of HITCO, when I was creating this new town, this plot of land was just started to develop, and I am very happy and I wish to congratulate ICAI that this has indeed been constructed. It is easy for a corporate to do it, but for an association to do it, get all the funding done, get all the engineering in place is not easy. And for a second time, I congratulate you. Now, how you will use it? People are very fond of this term called Center of Excellence. Nobody as yet has arrived at very clearly what iska maane kya hai. Everybody wants to be excellent. Who wants to be inferior? Who wants to fail in an exam? Lekin, what happens in a Center of Excellence? This is what matters. And if we have listened to what the GCC is trying to do, it is urging you to rise above what you are doing into an international field, into the present day era, with or without technology. And for this, you have to upgrade your skills. If you don't upgrade, if you remain what you are doing, if it's business as usual, no global center of excellence will be created. So what is needed? It is needed an institution to impart the knowledge and best practices and a mechanism to transmit among people. In this case, I am very happy to see that the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is taking such a huge lead in trying to generate awareness of this. This is the first step. I would now urge you to do some courses, some certificate courses, some diploma courses, some training sessions in small batches. It can't be in a hall as big as this. Say in 20, 15 batches, if something can be done so that people can really start using these new tools and think of working in GCCs. So my first point that I wish to make, not that I want to make too many points, only 2 or 3 points. My first point is we need training and certification. ICAI can, from this Center of Excellence in Kolkata, in Newtown, can it begin that? So anybody next, like he said about the visiting card in Hyderabad where only CA was written, now he can certified GCC professional, certified by ICAI Kolkata branch or something like that. So that would be quite useful. The second point I would like to say is that it is also, like Mr. Sanghvi, I am also a great AI follower and enthusiast and trying to apply the tools in various things that we do in our professional lives. I, for myself, am doing a lot of AI art. Now I call myself contemporary artist and using generative tools. This is just to tell you that generative tools are only 2 or 3 years old. And I am not using it to do professional art exhibitions, which even some people are buying. So my point is, unless you learn it and use it, this is the second point I'm making, is that you have to start using these new tools that are around the corner. So if you want to be a GCC, if you want to build a GCC, you have to compete with the global world, and everywhere they're using AI in their day-to-day lives. There are n number of statistics we know of. So my second point I am saying is that technology and advances will also have to be known, and it will be good if ICAI Kolkata can take a lead in forming how to get along. Not that everything is available on the net, everybody knows, but where to start. In Bengali we say, ekটু ধরিয়ে দেওয়া. You know, how to get started. If somebody could tell us, I am sure all of you have got the intelligence to take it forward, to how to take the first steps, 1, 2, 3. Preliminary introduction to AI for chartered accountants for GCCs is the second step, I think, is advisable. And the last, no large sermons. I am sure, like many of you, you were also very happy to note how India signed the EU trade agreement with the European Union. And you have noticed, if I have noticed, you must have noticed twice, that they have agreed that Indian professionals will also be able to certify carbon credits. They call it border sustainability margin adjustment mechanism or something like that. Very briefly speaking, they impose, European Union imposes on our manufacturers like steel, cement and everything else, some additional tax unless sustainability safeguards are observed. So who is going to certify that, let us say, Tata Steel is observing sustainability guidelines? It is not enough that you give ESG or BSRS returns because you can fake it. It has to be audited. It has to be certified. Now this is also, I think, another area in the matter of trade and in the matter of carbon tax, especially with the European Union that is coming. And if you can master this, you can be from the global competency center, you can be helping all other countries in the world in their carbon tax kind of, what can I say, to solve those problems. So with these words, I would very fondly hope that the leadership that is being taken by this institute with the leadership of Mr. Sanghvi and with the physical presence of so many of you, I would very sincerely hope that Kolkata and Newtown, this center of excellence, will be taking forward this movement for not only whole of India, but also globally and especially with the European Union. Thank you very much.
So gratitude and thanks. Please give a thunderous round of applause for our chief guest, Mr. Devashish sir. So thank you for sharing your thoughts in around GCC. We would also like to thank both our Central Council member and other council colleagues, regional council colleagues for being there for this inaugural session of GCC. Thank you everyone. We'll move forward to the next panel discussion. I request everyone to kindly stay back. Before that, friends will be launching a GCC booklet on impact of Union Budget 2026-27 on GCC ecosystem. This has been collated and prepared by the GCC group, and this will be for the benefit of members at large. Thank you. Over to CA Bishwaranjan Sutar for taking up the next session.